already into the action here a little bit. At idle, this thing's running super rich, but there's a real bad lean dead spot at about a third to half throttle right before the main jet kicks in. So what I've done is I've taken my backing plate and everything off, and the carburetor's just hanging here. I'm going to pull the float bowl, I'm going to pull the intermediate jet. I'm just going to wallow out that intermediate jet just a little bit larger with a torch tip cleaner. It's not the right way to do it, but I don't have a jet kit for this piece of shit carburetor. And eventually this will get replaced with an S&S carburetor. And if this was a customer bike, I wouldn't do this. I would get a jet kit for them or get them an S&S carburetor. I would strongly push for the S&S carburetor because these CV carbs, they're not the worst, but they're not great. And I'd much rather run an S&S or a much better carburetor. The thing that sucks about doing these repair videos is I have to turn off my music because I don't want a copyright strike and get kicked off YouTube. So you can do this without completely removing the carburetor. I've probably mentioned these screwdrivers before, but the CV carbs that are on a Harley, they use JIS screws, and a normal Phillips head screwdriver will strip the heads out of the screws. You got to use a JIS screwdriver. So here's my intermediate jet. I'm just going to use a torch tip cleaner. And if I screw this up, I'm SOL because this is my right arm. And if you take too much off, it's just as bad as it was before, and you can't put it back. So this is a really slow, delicate process. It's quite tedious. I don't recommend doing it this way. So I'm going to take the next torch tip cleaner that'll fit in there. And I don't know how, but they get tangled up. That one doesn't quite fit. You can get these at your welding supply store. You can get them on eBay. You can get them on Amazon. They don't cost much. And it's just essentially a little bitty file for cleaning out the tip of an acetylene torch when they get carboned up. What I'm doing is I'm using it to enlarge the orifice in this jet. Because this jet is just brass, it doesn't take much. These will file that brass right off. And like I said, I do not recommend doing it this way. This is the only option available to me at the moment. You want to spin your little jet as you file so you make the hole bigger evenly all the way around. It's real easy to go too far, and I might have. But we'll try that. Doesn't take very much at all. Blow it out good, make sure you don't have no brass filings left in there. You don't want that in your engine. Tight enough to not leak and not rattle out. Now I'm going to turn that idle mixture screw all the way in and back it out a quarter of a turn. It's going to be running super rich with that jet enlarged so much. So I want to lean that idle down because it is fouling plugs that idle. It's running so rich at idle. I'm giving it so much more fuel out of that intermediate jet that it's getting fuel from that all the time and making it run rich at idle. So, something that horsepower up. But first, let's clean the spark plugs. Before I take those out, I'll blow out any dirt that would be in there so it doesn't go down the engine. Yeah, she's running super rich. These were brand new just a few miles ago. Didn't take much to clean them up. And same thing for the other one. Super, super rich, but only at idle. Much better. And all I did was just scrub them in my solvent tank. A lot of guys will sandblast them. I don't have a sandblaster, and if you use a sandblaster, you run the risk of sand getting stuck in there and then getting into your cylinder and chewing up your cylinder walls and valves, which, if you blow it out properly, shouldn't be an issue, but it's still a possibility. With this, the solvent's water-based. It's supposedly totally non-toxic, but it takes the carbon off good. I just use that in a toothbrush, then wash it out with hot water in the sink and blow dry it. And it works good. It gets nice and clean. I'm not going to replace these brand new plugs. Especially since it's, I wouldn't replace brand new plugs anyway. I would just clean them. There's no need to spend a few dollars of the customer's money on brand new plugs when they've already got brand new plugs. And don't over tighten these. It's easy to over tighten and don't do it. These only want just a couple foot-pounds. Again, just like most things on a bike, just tight enough to not leak and not fall out. No tighter. I think 7 or 8 foot-pounds is probably the torque. And I just run them in snug enough to get a good seal, and that's it. It's really easy to strip the threads out of a cylinder head on a Harley if you're a little heavy-handed with a ratchet. So let's go back to the other side. We'll let the bike down and we'll start it up and see how it goes. take it for a ride. And I am out on a road test, and I'll be right back. And it started hard because I didn't choke it. I figured it'd fire right up because it was still warm, but it's been sitting outside in the cold for a few minutes, and guess I should have used the choke. So let's see how she goes down the road now. I actually turned that mixture screw all the way in. That's much better so far. We'll just run around the block and see if that dead spot's gone. That dead spot's gone. We got it solved. That's probably the best I'm going to get this to run with that CV carb. Power feels good. Go visit these guys if they're open. Sidling good too. I've seen some of the work these guys do, and they do good work. They did the windows and some other stuff on a Camaro that Charlie built, and it came out real nice. They do paint correction and paint protective film and stuff like that too. It's not just window tint. So let's see if she'll start up easy this time. Nope. Let's go around the block one more time. guess she ain't liking something. Might have gone a little too big with that jet. Still running pretty good. She just needed a minute to warm up, maybe. Cools off quick sitting in this cold. Yeah, too much throttle chokes it out. that's still the best I've had it run yet. And it's not going to get any better without actually rejetting it properly. And when I rejet it properly, it's getting an S&S carb, and that's that. So it's good enough for the old lady to take around parking lots and learn to ride on. So that's where it is. Until I get an S&S carburetor for it, it's done. It is rideable. It just doesn't like a lot of throttle. So there we are.